Hello, and welcome to this presentation of filmed television commercials produced by Associated British Pathe. Now, I'm sure the name Pathe is familiar to you. In fact, there may be a few amongst you who remember it as far back as 1909. Yes, 1909, for that's when the company was started by the brothers Charles and Emile Pathe, who came over from Paris to produce the first British newsreel, Pathe Gazette. Since that time, the Pathe Cockerel has been a very familiar sight on your cinema screens, for the company has produced countless newsreels, short films such as the famous Pathe Pictorial, documentaries, second feature films, including the very successful Scrapbook series, and, well, many, many other films. Now, it takes quite an organization to produce films like these, but then Pathe is quite an organization within an organization, for it is part of the tremendous Associated British Picture Corporation, which also controls A.B.C. television. Now, to give you an idea of the vast scope of this organization and of the tremendous production facilities that it commands, we have put together a short film which we have called Introducing Ourselves.
Let us introduce ourselves. Associated British Pathe. We're not strangers, for we've been contributing to your entertainment in the cinemas for 4 decades. Now we're in television. Take a look at us. Come and let us show you round and give you some idea of the setup and people who are playing their part in producing television commercials for you. First of all, there's Pathe Studio in Wardour Street. The most up-to-date equipment in Britain and some of the best technicians in the business. That is the contribution of this complete film studio in miniature. 4 minutes from Piccadilly, filming goes on here in the heart of London. Not usually full-length features, they're made at Elstree, but bright television commercials and short films which have played such an important part in television during the past 18 months. The latest sound equipment and the latest developments in magnetic recording have made this filming fast and efficient. Here in the Pathe building, as old as the British film industry itself, are made some of television's best-known commercials and most exciting features. Behind a new venture, an old tradition, capturing for your private screens moments like these. From the Pathe building, where films were introduced to Wardour Street, to Film House, where TV has been introduced into the same street. For this building is the London headquarters of A.B.C. television. And now to one of Oxford Street's most unpretentious but important buildings, Pathe House. Here, cornering Wardour Street, is the home of Pathe's short film enterprises, the newsreel, the pictorial, the hosts of documentaries and entertainment shorts. Here, too, is the oldest and largest film library in Europe, a treasure house of headlines and highlights that becomes available now to those using the Pathe organization. On film, our yesterdays endure in these cans. And here, too, will be preserved the highlights of today for the generations to come. In one of the private theaters of this resourceful building, we can join the audience for a minute to dip briefly into the past. Back to 1896, when the internal combustion engine was just as much a dream as the atomic engine of tomorrow. Or right up to today's beauty queen competing for her crown. Whenever news has exploded over an unsuspecting world, at least since the earliest days of the film, Pathe cameramen have been there to get those moving pictures we've come to expect automatically from the screens of our cinemas. The same quality and sense of values are now back of the service which produces television commercials for you. They bring you the best that the best equipment can obtain. Their ability has won acclaim, their experience is great, their value in this new medium unquestionable. Behind the cameramen, the experts. the entertainment visualizers, the editors and cutters and joiners, and all the other technicians and organizers who help to produce more than 200 commercials and 250 short films a year. A total output equal to more than 20 full-length feature films.
As I said before, it's quite an organization, and it's now available to you. For in addition to the newsreels, pictorials and other films, Pathe are now producing television commercials. In fact, they have produced some 450 to date, amongst them some of the most popular that appear on your television screens. We're now going to show you some of these commercials. We have made a random selection from films completed in recent months. They're not necessarily the best that we have produced, but we have tried to limit our selection to those which offer the type of production which we feel will appeal to you, the advertisers, in this area. For that reason, we have eliminated colour filmlets and the more expensive cartoon treatments. Here then is the first group of 60-second and 90-second commercials.